Imperator Rome has finally been updated after more than a year since the last patch. It is a mini patch, but hopefully this leads the way towards more patches and maybe the official relaunching of development of Imperator with possibly more DLCs. That being said, this is the perfect opportunity for us to restart our mega campaign. It's been a few years since I did my last mega campaign and I want to do this better than last time. We're gonna actually include all the Paradox games, 7 games, 4,000 years mega campaign. We are going to be using the Invictus mod as well as the Better UI mod just to have a bit more fun, and we're going to be starting as the Roman Republic. As you probably know from update 2.04, having mods enabled also allows you to get achievements, so we're going to be going for Iron Man mode. That is a tribute to the development team actually appreciating what the multiple mod creators, especially the Invictus team, has done for this game. Honestly, without Invictus continued development on Imperator, it probably would be completely dead by now, so do make sure you check out the mod. I'll link that in the description as well. We're gonna keep some of the mechanics on from Invictus as well, and as you can see, I pretty much only played Rome when I played Imperator Rome because I'm not a heretic and I don't play nothing else. Okay, you got a problem with that? Only nation you're supposed to play in this game is Rome. It's in the name. It's Imperator Rome, not Imperator Etruscans. Okay, so we're gonna start with our Roman missions here. Essentially, we have the missions required to consolidate and spread a Roman culture on the Italian peninsula. Now, I know a lot of you probably will be thinking, Ludi, what are you gonna do? 7 games? You're just gonna conquer the world in the first one and second game and that's it. No, I'm gonna actually impose some limitations on my games. So for Imperator Rome, we're basically gonna take the Italian peninsula. I'm gonna help other nations get bigger, so we have a challenge for the next phase, which is gonna be this Crusader Kings 3 phase. We're not gonna just full on snowball and kill everybody around. Okay, we're gonna play Toll. So one of my favorite parts about Imperator Rome is the building system they have. Honestly, I'm glad that EU5 has a very similar building system to this because I find this to be extremely well thought out. And after we've conquered the Italian peninsula and the islands around, we're gonna show why playing Toll in Imperator Rome is way above all the other Paradox games in my opinion. We're gonna go for Mater Matuta since we need a bit of extra income for that early expansion, and we're gonna go for Encourage expansion because we're warmongers. That's true. Idea slot, we're gonna do 2 military ideas, namely Morale of Armies, Ordered Retreat, and the last is gonna be an Oratory idea, Loyalty of Generals plus 10. Getting this also gives us the bonus of Loyalty of Characters plus 5 and National Freeman Happiness. Let's also start with our imports. So right now we can see actually because of the Invictus mod, which imports we have a surplus are highlighted with the green overlay. When we get a surplus for goods, we also get a national bonus. So for example, National Freeman Happiness plus 8%. If we get the surplus on fish, we're gonna do that because we want to have happy freemen basically. Pop promotion speed is pretty huge as well. Building cost reduction is massive too, and we also want to get slave happiness so they're less likely to rebel. And these are all the surpluses we can afford at the start of the campaign. Once we get more capital routes, trade routes, we can get more bonuses, of course. Martial advances, well, we can use our innovation points or innovations to get advances. This system is really well thought out in my opinion, and we really want to push down towards cohorts, which will allow us to raise legions freely because at the start of the campaign we cannot do that. Maybe get the discipline plus 5 from active drills, another 5 discipline for professional training, and we're also going to do some civic advances like import value, national tax increase, an extra capital trade route is pretty good too, as is the build cost minus 2.5. Getting this from the start of the campaign means that we're going to save up a ton of money because we're going to be building a lot of buildings in the campaign, of course. And by getting one more wood trade route, we get a surplus for wood, which is a fence for spearmen. That's good because most of our army early on is levies, which is roughly all of them spearmen. We also have a few starting subjects. We're going to improve opinion of them so we can incorporate them after we've grown in size a tiny bit. And pretty much instantly, we're able to get claims on Umbrian territories in the northern bits here. So we can attack Umbria. Let's see what alliance sets they've got. Enough of waiting around. It's time to attack you maximum. Go to our military, raise the levies. Not as many men as I would like to have, but better than nothing really. And let's go ahead and attack the province of Aternum, which is the only province we border with them. We have to take the fort in Aternum in order to conquer the rest of their lands, as this is the province that borders our vassal Frentania. It's actually pretty good because it's essentially a chokehold, meaning that none of the Umbrian and Picentian units can actually come into our land. Oh, What the hell? How the hell did they get this province? Actually, what? They literally got a province from Sardinia so they can attack us. I did not even know that's a thing. Can you like ask for provinces from other nations? I don't know what happened. I actually don't know what happened. I really am curious to know how they managed to get the province of Nequinum without attacking Sardinia. Like what? And the Sabini claims as well in the south. Oh, this is amazing. Oh wait, actually the Sardinia, the guys we're trying to get a claim on now, which just allied Etruria. So we're gonna have to wait before we attack Sardinia then. These are the southern claims on the Samnite territories. These bad boys over here, which we're gonna attack after the Umbrian War. Okay, now this is just getting ridiculous with the amount of claims that we're getting. I'm loving it. I'm not complaining. Historical Roman aggressive expansion. The sacking of Spolentium. None shall hide. We're not gonna be gentle with our looting. You declare war on us, you're gonna get schnappled, dude. I mean, sure, we technically declared war on you, but our history books are gonna say something completely different. Another sacking. None shall hide again. We need that money for strategic developing our country's reasons, okay? I also love how when you take the capital, automatically all the provinces within that region get controlled by you after a certain amount of time passed. That is exactly how it works in U5, and I'm all for it. The Punic menace. The Carthaginians are advancing in Sicily, and we have a chance of guaranteeing Syracuse, the current ruler of most of Sicily. This guarantee might draw us into a war with the Carthaginians, the largest empire in the world right now, or at least in the western part of the world. They control, alongside their many subjects and tributaries, the coastline of Iberia and the entirety of North Africa, with the exception of Egypt, of course. So us with our little schnippily-dope little provinces are not really much of a match right now. We gotta grow in order to be a match for the Carthaginians. And we also gotta bribe people so they're loyal. That's another staple of Roman society. And Syracuse is now asking us to help them against Siculia. Siculia is not allied to anyone, I think. Yeah, we should be fine. Wait a second. That's a guarantee, or is it an alliance that we got with them? We got an alliance, not a guarantee. Oh, my dude. Not sure how I feel about that, considering that I want to be attacking them. But we got all of Umbria and Picentia, so let's go ahead and completely annex all of these rightful Roman clays. Boom shakalugga domes. This means we have now become a regional power. We get certain bonuses from being a regional power, like the -5 build cost, which is pretty insane. Capital import route as well, +1, and so on. Plus, we can do one of our missions, unseat the Umbrians. Now, we have the option of making some of the pops in these areas Roman, and we're of course going to be doing that. Now, since we also have a little bit of extra money, we're going to go ahead and we're going to build some farms. Now, farming settlements increase the amount of base resource we produce, and namely that resource is going to be some type of grain or some type of food producing resource, and food is the biggest bane, especially early on in the campaign for the Romans. Now let's go back by the border here, because we're gonna go to war with the Sabinis next. Oh wait, what? Ancona just refused to become my vassal. Okay, you know what, Ancona, you don't even have allies or nothing. Why would you do that to yourself? You're literally asking for me to wipe you out, bro. Like, actually, you're asking for it. Look at that. I love how I've got a truce with Etruria, but I'm basically bypassing that truce by attacking their ally in Sardinia, and because of the way that mechanics work in Imperator Rome, I can essentially just completely wipe out all of Etruria in this war without any repercussions. Oh, you know what? Since you guys are my ally, I'm gonna call them into this war against Sardinia and Etruria. Why not? I'm honestly more curious to see if they actually send in units to help me out or not. I would be very surprised if they did send in units to help me out. No! We might get our asses handed here. Oh, this is so freaking close. They got way more units than us, surprisingly. And we don't have our entire army fighting there because I'm being greedy and I'm trying to siege down Sardinia whilst also fighting this massive battle here. Yeah, I think we lost that one. That is a GG's, boys. Well, it is what it is. We still technically won because we wiped out a lot more units than they wiped from our side. But now we got to go down to the old tactics of divide and conquer. So we're just going to flat out attack their smaller armies, wipe them out, and try to avoid engaging the bigger stacks if possible in this war. Wait, what the hell is this? Are these? No. Are these freaking Syracusans? Cannot be, right? Oh, those are my subjects. My subjects made a 6,000 army strong. Oh, God. Okay, that's good. And we also actually have the Syracusans, a arriving in Rome, helping us out. Okay, you know what? I might make an exception, and I might just let the Syracusans keep Sicily. I mean, look at this. They're literally doing all the heavy lifting. Go Syracuse. Not gonna lie, guys, I feel like Syracuse is my best friend right now. What is all this gentle looting BS I see over here? We're not adepts of gentle looting, okay? It's wiped out or get wiped out. These are the two options you have when you fight Rome. Gonna use all that looting money to build farming estates around my country, because we got a lot of looting money right now. It's ridiculous. The only drawback from that is simply that we lose a lot of population, which are getting wiped out when we loot these provinces, but it's a small price to pay that I'm willing to pay, you know, with the lives of the people that I'm attacking. And we got our very first tradition also. We're of course gonna go for Roman traditions. We want to eventually get up to triple ACs, which is a unique tactic that we can use afterwards. Plus, we also want to get Roman roads. Essentially what this does is we get 3 innovation first off, and we also have the ability afterwards to build the roads with our legions, just like historically the Romans built the road empire, built the road network of their empire with their legions. It was a military thing, roads initially, the Romans at least. One thing I'm not really happy with is that Syracuse occupied the Etrurian lands in Corsica. This is rightful Roman lands, and I am really not okay with them taking these from me. So I'm not gonna annex Corsica. I'm gonna let Etruria survive with just the provinces in Corsica. I feel bad. I probably should not have called in Syracuse. It was just more of a let's see what happens sort of thing. I didn't actually need them in the war, to be fair. I feel like this kind of bit me in the ass a little bit, not gonna lie. We are gonna proceed with a pop assimilation policy all around their empire. We essentially want to convert everybody to Roman culture. We have more Etruscan culture pops than we have Romans right now because of all the Etruscan lands we conquered, so we need to make sure that that changes. Only Rome will be accepted in the Italian peninsula by the end of our campaign. And speaking of the end of the Etruscans is here, we're gonna get 6 Volturian pops become Roman from that one mission. We also can get more import routes now to these particular provinces. I'm gonna do food imports, so essentially grain, which gives +6 food, fish +3 food, livestock, and so on are the most important ones. I'm gonna do 2 grain imports because right now we actually have some shortages of food around the empire. We want to make sure these shortages do not stick around. Sadly, some of our provinces do not yet have any available trade routes, but we could get, say, local import routes +1 by spending a free province investment here. So let's actually gonna go ahead and do that in Picenum, so at least we start importing some grain if nothing else. Although Picenum is the province which we are getting 4 extra grain produced in, so I don't think they're gonna have that much of an issue with food actually. Longonencia calls for aid against Carthage. We really are not yet ready. We're gonna take the 5,000 manpower. Thank you very much. We also got our 4th major family now. We need to make sure that we have at least 2 proper office positions or general positions for this family. So where I'm gonna do a little bit of a cheese here, and I'm gonna give them command of my ship. That's right. We're just gonna have that entire family be admirals in our fleets, and that means they're not scorned anymore. Oh no, we need one more spot actually. So that means we got one more fleet we can do. There you go. 3 admirals from the same family. Totally not nepotism, guys. Totally not. Now let's go ahead and get some more farming estates. I know what you're thinking, Ludi. You have a farming estate problem. I know I do. That's why I'm building more. Who needs libraries when you can have more farming estates? Am I right? Petitioner approaches. Rome can get 666.66 ducats, which will be from Aulus. He is 66 years old. Okay, that's a lot of 6s in there. But hey, thanks for the money. I guess we can actually build some libraries now. Why not? A Roman library in your name, sir. Gonna get a few libraries around here actually, just because we want to increase our research points a little bit. Maybe even one in Capua and some of our other bigger cities. And whilst we're at it, let's get an aqueduct in Rome also. These guys don't have any allies? That's kind of disappointing. I was hoping that they're allied to Lucania, so I can take 2 birds out with 1 stone. Problem is I don't have a claim on Lucania, so I actually have to start fabricating a claim now. We don't really have too much aggressive expansion. Only 25 is really just nothing. It's going down so fast as well. And there you go. We also can do now crushing of the Samnites. Always go for whichever option gives you more pops converted to Roman, obviously. We have a lot of forts. I'm gonna disband some of these, like especially the ones that are in really weird positions that don't really defend anything. We also can get 50 opinion of our subjects with us by lowering the tribute that they offer, and that way we can start incorporating them or integrating them. I'm gonna do that now because honestly I just like to see the map be all Roman and not subjects. The bad part for this is that we lose all the units that they have. They're not gonna be able to help us anymore because when we incorporate, unlike E4 for example, if you integrate integrate someone you do not get in Imperator Rome, their units. We're also going to build some court of laws around, just so we get our provinces a little bit more loyal towards us. And we also finish getting the claim on Lucania, so let's attack them. That is a big chunk of land, taking all of Lucania actually, so this is going to be a huge change. It means we have access to all of the Greek city-states in the south. Court of Law is by far one of the most underrated buildings in this game, especially early in the campaign. You really need to spam these around so you don't have issues with your territories rebelling, because rebelling in this game is horrible. Like, you literally can lose everything if somebody rebels here. Whoa, Syracuse, that is so aggressive, bro. Stop it, Syracuse. You have a problem. You need to stop right now. Looks like Epirus actually managed to grab a bit of chunk of Italy. That is not okay at all. They also managed to get all of the coastline Greek city-states on their side too. That changes things. So this is Pyrrhus of Epirus. If you guys don't know a little bit about him, I'll give you a really short, concise history. You guys know how we have a Pyrrhic victory? That's from this guy, from his name, Pyrrhus. It's meant to show that he was willing to fight to the absolute last soldier in order to win. And he did. He won a few times until he eventually ran out of bodies, because his Pyrrhic victories meant he lost most of his armies until the point that he won. He was that dedicated, and he was one of the biggest threats to the early phase of the Roman Republic. I'll be honest, I feel like Pyrrhus of Epirus had a bigger chance of destroying Rome than the Carthaginians had. And I know that's a hot take. I am aware it's a hot take, but I stand by it. In true Roman fashion, we can demand that Epirus releases Tarentum and any other Greek states they might have on the Italian peninsula. If they refuse, we go to war, and we all know what that means, because they will refuse. We can also make the city-states more disloyal, but I'm gonna just flat out go to war. I don't give a schnips. Come at me, Epirus. Oh, Metapontum actually agreed to back us against Epirus. That is interesting. Croton as well. Wait, all the Greek city-states already support us? Oh my god. All right, it's time for war, boys. Looks like only Sipontum joined on the side of the Epirates. Everybody else joined on our side. Oh, and these guys too. I forgot who these are. They're Heraclea. Oh, these slimy Epirates have landed in the north. No! Once more, we're doing divide and conquer tactics, wiping out the smaller stacks wherever we find them. So we're trying to promote keeping the enemies divided, not merged into one bigger blob. Okay, we need to win this. We really need to win this. If they take that city, that is a big problem for us. Now, you're probably noticing they actually have really good units. They have more discipline than we do, brother. Which is wild to see. And now Syracuse borders us because they've basically wiped out everybody here. See, this is what I'm talking about. Syracuse is the bad guy. We're trying to free people, give them freedom and democracy, and look at them. They just literally wiped out all the little Schnappeldorp Greek states, and now they're attacking us. They're such warmongers. I'm telling you, we need to stop them. See, instead of fighting me, Syracuse, you could have been using this time to get ready to defend against the Carthaginians, but no, you gotta fight against the good guys, wipe out the little guys. You're the worst. You're literally, I cannot believe how bad the Syracuse. They also wanted to take Corsica from me. Do I need to say more? Wait, I just realized this is not where Laos is supposed to be. Also gonna start building a fleet, because I'm gonna need one when I fight both the Carthaginians and in order to finish the Separus War. They got 45 ships. Burn, Syracuse, burn! Yes, scum. All right, I'm fairly confident we can annex all of Syracuse now. There you go. That is 25 AE. That's actually a little bit of extra AE, unfortunately. We went up to 34 aggressive expansion, so that means we have to actually slow down a little bit after this. We also can get 340 from Syracuse and 15 research points percentage for 120 months. That's pretty good. And it also means we now have become a major power, since we have at least 100 territories, which gives even more bonuses and makes it even easier for us to expand, actually. Now, let's see who else is in this war. Are these guys in the war? Calactia and Tindaria. We're gonna have to declare separately on them. Let's take out the Locri, Croton, everybody else that's here. Wait, Locri's not in the war also? Croton's not? Oh, Croton's my ally? They actually decided to be my ally. Okay. We all know what happens to Rome's allies, don't we? They stay friends forever. I'm getting the vibe that these nations that I didn't attack were Syracuse's subjects before I annexed next Syracuse. That's why I have a truce with them. So I made a mistake. I should have stayed in the war a little bit longer till I annexed all 3 of these, because now I'm worried that the Carthaginians are going to push in and take these states before my truce expires. White peace with Ellis, because we haven't had a single fight. Why did you even attack me, Ellis? That's the real question. What have I ever done to you? Go ahead and do a peace with the Emperors. I just won the Italian holdings. I don't mind you guys keeping your Greek holds, because end of the day, I'd rather see Greece divided in 2 rather than have the Macedonians own all of Greece, because then it's going to be harder for me to take that stuff whenever I might decide to attack it, right? Now, we have peace for the first time in a really long period. We have peace, boys. I was going to disband my armies, but I do need to take out Elia before I do disband the armies, I guess, because they're still independent and they're not allied to one, so it's literally just a free province that we're taking. I think it's also time for us to go for the Punic reforms, which will allow us to get 1 legion for the time being in our capital here. If we want to get more than 1 legion, we need to go for the right cohorts technology, which we're going to do later, not necessarily priority. We're also going to be at peace for a while, even though I can attack Tarentum and Thuria. I'll do it later since my aggressive expansion and my war exhaustion is huge. We need to wait for this to go down. The way we do that is we will be disbanding our levies. Oh, I cannot disband this one because the general is not loyal. Okay, well, let's fix that, shall we? Disband his army too. With both the levies disbanded, our war exhaustion is going to go down, and this is the prime time for us to start revamping our nation. Gonna delete a lot of the other really useless forts here, especially in the central mountainous areas are pretty much pointless. We're gonna rebuild them later in chokeholds, basically, wherever we can strategically defend the areas from, not just randomly here and there. And more importantly, we're gonna start properly assimilating our pops, building buildings that also help with assimilation, like the marketplace, and also buildings that increase our economy and convert our pops to our religion. So we have a more centralized and more Romanized Italian peninsula before we do the next phase of the expansion in the north and in the south. And I think we've chilled for long enough. It's time to continue to expand. We're going to take Corsica because I'm noticing that the Carthaginians are really consolidating their hold over Sardinia. I would hate for them to start coming into Corsica as well. We're going to navally invade straight into their freaking capital. I do not give a schnitzel. Now let's see if we're also able to grab some lands in Sardinia before Carthaginian revolt. Oh, that is juicy. That is actually juicy. Oh, I actually just realized I have 90 tyranny. Maybe I need to chill. The problem with this is that tyranny gives loyalty of characters minus, right now, minus almost 11. So yeah, after these wars, I swear I'm chilling, okay? I promised before, I'm actually chilling after this war and after the war with Senones. I'm doing a quick one as well. Just a small one. We really need to bring that tyranny down. Tax office for you and you. Everybody gets an extra tax office. If you're not getting a tax office, are you even Roman? And also you're gonna get some assimilation buildings. I mean markets. Literally, look at that, boys. This is the definition of plain tall. We got buildings everywhere on our country being built right now. This is gonna put us at war with all 3 of our neighbors in the north here, Lingoni, Boi, and Senones. And I actually like the borders after. It's like properly aligned at the northern river. I'm actually not sure what river this is. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section. I'm actually curious now because it seems like a pretty sizable river. Oh, Bactrian Civil War ended. Oh, let me actually check the Asia, guys. I haven't seen the map since the start of the campaign. Bactria is huge. Oh my god. If you guys don't know, Bactria is the remnants of Alexander the Great's empire within the northwestern parts of India. The Bactrians were actually Greeks and they ruled in this area for quite a few hundred years. And that's also the reason why in the Kashmir province of India today, you actually have blue-eyed, blonde sometimes, or light-haired Indians with lighter skin. These are likely descendants from the Bactrian Greeks, which there were actually quite a few of them for quite a long time before obviously getting assimilated into the local pops, and the kingdom itself was wiped out later down the line from our particular timeline at least. It did survive for quite a few hundred years, so that's pretty impressive considering it was so isolated from the rest of the Greek-speaking world. That being said, the Seleucids are massive, as I would expect, and they go all the way into the Qatari Peninsula here. Maurya is freaking huge in India too. We got the Scythians, the Roxolani, the Galatian Revolt. Okay. Thrace is also pretty powerful right now. Getia is pretty good. Aestia in the north, one of the bigger tribes. Not much consolidation has happened within the Gaulic areas or within Iberia, but that's actually a good thing because what's likely going to happen is my my enemies will consolidate. We don't want that to happen now, do we? I'm also seeing Massaesilia owning a big chunk of North Africa now, and I feel like this changed the balance of North Africa significantly. It definitely weakened the Carthaginians. They've got a little bit less of a foothold now in North Africa, and I'm all for it. Also looks like the last of the Carthaginian revolt is getting wiped out here in the northern parts of Sardinia. Oh boy, we got so many capital import routes now. Check it out, boys. 18 trade routes we can have in the capital, and our levies are absolutely wiping the floor with the barbarians. They are literally no match for superiorly trained Roman conscripts, because we still don't have a legion. We're gonna get our legion soon though. After the next chill period, we're gonna get the legion before we start the war with Carthage. And this is a big one too. Monthly wages for characters minus 10% means a buttload of money. I do find it interesting how Venetian or Venetic and Raetian over here are part of the same culture group as Roman. What happened here? How did they get separated from one another? Did the Druid or Druidic Lepontic Celts just wipe out some of the Roman culture people in this area? What's the history behind this? This character has caused me more trouble than the actual barbarians have. He's been planning to revolt for the past trillion years. I tried everything. I bribed him. I gave stipends. I did everything I possibly could. I don't even know what to do anymore with him. He's even a friend of mine and he's doing this. Come on, bro. Now, we're also going to turn the Roman Colonia into assimilation hotspots. That's why we're going to go for the pop assimilation speed bonus +1, which is huge. And we're going to go for the Roman hegemony, which is going to give our Roman characters +10 loyalty. So that should bring this horrible individual back in line because he's going to get 40 loyalty again. And then once more, I'm going to be disbanding my armies. And we're going to go for the Roman roads, which means that we now have the ability to build roads with our armies. Few years have passed and we're finally ready to attack Carthage. As such, we got to get our first region, Legio Italia, and it's going to have a bit of a unique composition here. It's going to be primarily heavy infantry, as historically the legions were mostly heavy infantry. We're going to have 10 heavy infantry cohorts, 4 archers, a couple of supply trains, some engineers to make it easier to take fortifications with the legion too, and some heavy cavalry to absolutely crush anything in our path. This is what we can probably do. Can get maybe one more supply train, so we have a decent supply train in case we want to have expeditions into Africa and so on. I do expect we're going to have to go into Africa eventually. So that means we have actually 10,500 fighting soldiers in this legion. We're going to wait a little bit until the food capacity goes up. Seeing as the Carthaginians are losing against the one province minor of Luigodenensia, I expect this to be a fairly swift war, boys. They do have a lot of subjects though, so that's the scary-ish part though. Let's go, boys. Let's freaking go. All GG's for Luigodenensia. They seem to be doing pretty good for themselves. The Carthaginians tried to attack us from the north, literally pulled a freaking Hannibal on us a little bit early, and we have been defeated. This is bad. This is so bad. This means only one thing. We have to rely on mercenaries to win this now. I'm also going to have my revenge for that first battle. We're going to kick some Carthaginian ass. Oh, these are mercenaries too, man. What the schnitzel? It's a mercenary war basically now, isn't it? With the addition of the mercenaries, the tables have absolutely turned. We crushed the Carthaginians in multiple battles, and now it's time for us to land over in their lands and wreak havoc. That's right. We're going to be disembarking here, and we're going to be taking Carthage in order to get the war score, but we're only going to take the islands. We're not going to give a schnaps about the African position. Yeah, that was a bad idea. We almost got our legion wiped out. No bueno. We're going to change tactics, and we're going to try and distract the enemy by sending off a landing party into the south, and then we're going to send a secondary landing party into the north. Whilst their armies are going into the south, we'll have enough time to siege down Carthage. How do they have so many units? Even in the south, they already have 8,000 units just waiting there. Dude, Carthage has an insane amount of units. This is crazy to me to see how many units they can actually muster over here, because these are mostly conscripts, of course. Also, I want to point out that because we lost that initial battle against the Carthaginians, we got the trait Trepida, which is actually a bad modifier. We get morale of armies -15 and family prestige -0.05 for whoever commands this legion. It's bad. It's actually bad. We also have legion dedication, but still, Trepida is like one of the worst we could get. We lost in the south. We're going to attempt again to go off of Carthage. This is like a last-ditch attempt because our war exhaustion is increasing way too much, so we actually need to peace out. But if we do take Carthage before their units come into the north and reinforce and actually push us back, then we might actually win the war. All right, we got it actually. All right, so now they're giving us a little bit of war score, not too much. Would it be enough to take some provinces at least here? I would love to take these. It's actually enough. I just need to win this battle here, naval battle, and a couple more battles within Carthage area. That should be fairly easy because they haven't really brought the entirety of their armies here yet. This is a historical event here. After the Romans got their asses handed to them by the superior Carthaginian fleets, what the Romans did is they reverse engineered a Carthaginian ship and they built bigger, better ships off of the Carthaginian design, which they used afterwards to control the entirety of the Mediterranean for the next few hundred years. All right, we're winning a few big battles too. That's going to give us a lot more war score as well. Come on, kick some Carthaginian butts, boys. We got conqueror trade. Hell yeah, baby. Not only can we take all of this land, but I'm fairly confident we can take Sicily too. I mean, Sardinia too. Yeah, we can. How about the subject nations? Not yet. I would need 64 for that, but just these little shitty ass vassals, really? So even with all the devastation, they're just not willing to give up their vassal. However, check this logic out. I'm able to take Sardinia, Sicily, Carthaginian provinces, and I'm not able to take these vassal lands, but I'm able to take the entirety of the Carthage state. That is just nonsensical. But you know what? Hey, I tried to be a nice guy. They didn't agree with me, so I'm taking Carthage. Carthage is the first out of Italy colony that we have, and we're just gonna keep it like this. We're not gonna take anything else within the Carthaginian lands. We're just gonna take the city of Carthage and make it Roman, and of course consolidate Sicily and Sardinia. So in the next war, we're just taking the vassal lands. That's it from them. That being said, it is time to freaking disband the levies. These levies have gotten us so much war exhaustion. It is really, really bad. And yes, we've also basically assaulted Carthage. It is now a village. We're just role-playing Rome, okay? That's all that's happening here. We've also finished our initial mission tree, so we have two paths now. We can either change Rome to the Hellenic religion to be more on par with our Greek brothers, or we can choose not to abandon our current traditional faith. Considering a massive amount of the world is Hellenic, it's gonna make our life a lot easier if we switch over to Hellenic ourselves. So I'm gonna go down the historical path where the Romans decided to follow a more closer version of Hellenism and integrate their own religion with the Hellenic one. And that being said, we have a lot of other missions now we can go for. First province, which is about Corsica, Sardinia, Sicily. The growth of Magna Graecia, where we focus on growing the southern parts of our empire, subduing Greece for expansion into Greece, Cisalpine Gaul expansion into the north, or the conquest of Africa. I think I'm gonna go for Cisalpine Gaul since we plan on going into the north anyway, right? And we got the first mission done as well, which is beautiful. And seeing as all of these Sicilian nations are allied to one another, it's gonna make our life a lot easier now to just consolidate all of did I say Sicily twice? I meant Sardinia. What is wrong with me? I don't even know the names of the places I'm conquering. Oh, we can ally the Venetians if we pay 53 duck. Hell yeah, I want to ally the Venetians. They are Roman-esque people, right? If they ally me, I wouldn't be so unhappy. There you go. We became allies with the Venetians. Maybe we can make them into a client state. For that, we just need to improve relations with them, basically. So let's pay up a little bit and actually start improving relations. Also, like all the little flavor stuff that the game has, like expanding the Campus Martius. This is the field of Mars, basically, outside the city of Rome, where the units would historically muster. Very important part of Roman society, and especially during the early Roman Republic phase, this was an integral part. Same here with the Templars of Jupiter, Optimus Maximus. Oh wait, this gives 2.5 discipline permanent? That is huge. So now since we are chilling, we're gonna start building roads. I'm gonna click build military road. It's gonna cost us 10 per province, and it's also gonna slow the speed of the unit by 70% to show how it takes longer to move from one province to another when you're building roads. And I'm gonna path this all the way to Rome. This way we have a road that leads from the southern tip of the Italian peninsula all the way to our capital. We already have some road established along the way from Capua to Rome itself, but up until Capua, including Neapolis, we do have to build in every single province. Then after that, I'm also going to do another one from Rome into the north before we start our expansion into the Cisalpine Gaul area. All right, we got our road all the way to Genoa from the north to the southern tip of our nation. I guess we could probably do that around Sicily too. Now we're doing roads across the northern mountains to reach Ravenna and then connect Ravenna back to city of Rome too. I'm also starting an intense assimilation process process. I'm building a lot of markets. I've also given some more rights to my various cultures. We're doing this because, check it out, boys. We're starting to already get more and more Roman around. Remember, we started with like 400 Roman. We're up to 736, almost double the Romans that we started with the campaign, and that's just in like 40 years. We can check how it goes from each province. Look at here. In 1554, we get another pop becoming Roman. So overall, like every 40 years, we get like 500-600 pops Roman, which is really a lot. Look at that. Etruscan cultural integration progress increases by 10%. And we also got the cohorts advanced, which means that we can now get as many legions as we want. That being said, as the Romans, we also have to pass the Marian reforms in order to actually be able to get as many legions as we want. Also, check it out. 20 capital import routes. That is crazy, man. We literally trapped their army now in between our two main forces. Oh no. You gonna get schnapple-duped, boys. Aww. Yep, that's what we call good old Roman sandwich. There have started some new great powers appearing, including Aulecchia, which is a major power, same rank as us. They control primarily the western holdings of Gaul. The south of Etonia also controls majority of Iberia. There's still a significant rivalry between the North Africans here and the Carthaginians, and apparently the kingdom of Fezzan also appeared out of nowhere. In the east, we have Cyrenaica taking over the rich heartlands of Egypt, which is wild to see, and Thrace also managed to grab a massive holding in Anatolia as well. Parthia appeared and split the Seleucids in two. Bactria is still around surprisingly, and Maria got a little bit bigger because of a revolt it's apparently having now. We finally got the Claudian reforms, as they're called, or better yet, the Marian reforms basically, which allow us to recruit as many legions as we want to recruit, to be fair. Now, we do need to make some changes in office, and I think I've waited for long enough, actually. I think I deserve a little bit of expansion in the north. We can attack Taurinia and Veneto and just only grab the Roman lands that we need, nothing else. We've also made a nice little border shape here. Maybe I'll take a little bit more till I reach the river, and that's it, I guess. It would look better if I reach the river there. We have been playing tall. We've been building a lot of buildings. We also have 1,000 Roman culture now, significantly more than before. And we have a third accepted culture or integrated culture, the Sardins in Sardinia. Also, if we look at the religious map mode, a lot more of our pops are now Hellenic. You can also go and see the cultural map to see exactly where all the Roman pops are. Look at that, boys. We are spreading everywhere. There's even Roman pops in neighboring Veneto for some reason. So we skipped about 50 years here, give or take, and we've basically gotten the entirety of the Italian peninsula. We've got a smidge more of land in North Africa and a smidge more in the southern parts of France, or better yet, Gaul. And I've got an idea. Since we have right now 362 territories, how about we impose the limit for Imperator Rome at 500 territories? Why am I saying that? Well, because at 500 territories, we would become a great power. Right now, we're a major power, and Parthia is about to... Oh my god. Parthia became a great power. Oh my god, they have 512 territories. This right here, boys, this is the antagonist of the entire series. 4,000 pops, 500 territories, and they've been expanding like crazy. Also, Maria literally has had a 50 years revolt, and it still hasn't finished the revolt off. It is crazy what's going on in India, and especially surprised with Parthia has been super stable as well. Like how there's little remnants of Bactria around little isolated areas. Tribalia also owns majority of the Balkans now, and the Gauls have consolidated into 3 major nations, but I will be wiping out the one in the south here. That being said, we do have about 1,500 Romans. If we go to the map, we can see very much so all of Italy is predominantly Roman now, with small exceptions. Even in the northern Italian bits, most of the pops here have started to convert to Roman. That's because of the missions that we've been doing, as well as the multiple marketplaces and other things that we've been assembling. Right now we're doing Pearl of Italia mission, where we essentially actually develop our country a little bit more. We've done like 4 mission trees already in 50 years, all of them revolving around increasing the amount of Roman pops as well as around developing and increasing the amount of buildings and prosperity in our provinces. Speaking of, Rome is now officially a metropolis, 95 civilization level and 115 population. It is actually insane what's going on in Rome. And also legion wise, we've got a few extra legions. We've also expanded the legions that we had in Magna Graecia, Cisalpine Gaul, Transalpine Gaul. Currently my northern legions here are going to be in charge of wiping out the barbarians and Ruthenia, but we also have a secondary legion, the one from Magna Graecia, which is assigned to autonomously defend borders. This is part of the system that I love in Imperator Rome, where you can give orders to your units and they will do these orders for as long as that is set as an objective. It's kind of like the AI takes control of that one unit and does what it knows best to do with it based on what your orders are for it. Also have a little bit of a foothold in the Balkans, and I think I'll be taking out the eastern land and just hold basically Dalmatia and the mountainous area here. That should also be within 500 provinces. Not so sure if I'm going to go into Greece, because I like to see Greece as an antagonist in CK3, honestly. Oh, they're allied to Arvernia. Okay, that's cool. So we can probably take a few areas from Arvernia to maybe just the southern parts of Arvernia, because Arvernia is really huge right now. Like, they are the strongest out of all the Gallic nations. We are also allied to the Egyptians, the Egyptians that we were at war with before. Yeah, somehow they decided to be our friends now, so we're cool, basically. Nothing beats having a little coffee in the cold, frozen room whilst watching your legions burn down gold. That is the best feeling, really. No! They're trying to wipe out our legions! No! You scumbags! Okay, that's actually pretty bad. I did not expect them to even attack me. They have a lot of units. Holy snap. I think that means we should probably increase the amount of cohorts we have in our main legion. Legio Italia has up to 100 possible cohorts. But we can get a lot more of these units then. Let's get another 10 heavy infantry for now. There you go. We went up to 10,000 heavy infantry. There you go. We're making gains again. We have crushed them completely. And the best part is that they just cannot recover as fast as we recover from these battles. We got 100,000 manpower. They got like probably 20,000 or some snaps like that. Oh, wait. These are the legions from the south of Italy. Oh, because they have the objective to defend borders. They're going by the borders with the Arvernia to make sure that the enemy units don't get into here. That's so cool, man. I love that. We also have a lot of war score now, but I'm going to wait till I siege down the entirety of these areas here because I really want to fully annex Ruthenia. Oh, this is the capital of Arvernia. Let's see how many pops they have in here, actually. They got 29 pops in their capital. That's nothing. What? These people are so backwards. Not even 100 pops. Frenchmen trying to, Gauls trying to pretend that they're actually civilized. No, we're going to really civilize these lands. There you go. Now we got like 25% of Gaul. Time to spam marketplaces again, boys. Especially in the Roman area, we need to spam more marketplaces, actually. Some massive changes happened in the Middle East. We have the Persian Empire, which was a rebellion of the Parthians, I think, completely take over the, sorry, not the Parthians, the Seleucids. They took over the Seleucidic Empire, replaced them, basically, and the Parthians keep on growing, and they're already munching into the Roxolani, and they have 645 territories. It is insane. A new nation arrived. Wusun! I don't know what these guys are, but I got an event for them, so I'm assuming there's probably some bigger scripted nation which seemed to actually be giving some trouble to the Parthians, so let's see how that goes. One thing that really actually impressed me is how Britannia completely owns the entirety of the British Isles now. Both Hibernia and Scotland and England basically is just one nation, and they're doing pretty good, man. Despite being a major power with only 172 territories, the fact that they consolidated the British Isles and have no actual enemies on that area now means that they might turn into a bigger, more threatening enemy in the next part of the campaign, I guess. Time for our fleets to once more embark on an adventure. We're going to be attacking a couple of islands in the east. We're going to be taking out Crete as well as the Aegean Islands, and we're also going to be annexing Cyprus before the end of this first part. I really want to have all the islands in the Mediterranean. Since we're also going to war with the Macedonians now because of this particular war, we might also take the Attican island. No, this is not Attica. What is this called, guys? I actually forgot what this island is called. Well, basically we're taking all of the islands they have. I do need more ships, however, because it looks like Macedon's got way more ships than me, so we're gonna have to get some more triremes here. I kind of forgot that the Greeks are the actual masters of the seas in Imperator Rome, as they were historically. It's over, Anakinikos. I have the high ground. See what I did there? You see that Anakinikos is all Greek names end with the kos. Everybody knows. Damn it, you better laugh at my stupid jokes. I love to see how the Macedonians at least are trying to do something against me. So we completely finished the Roman traditions military tree. Now we're gonna do the Italic tribes one. Why not? Since we are Italian, might as well get that one done too, right? Beautiful. Looks way better under Roman management if you ask. We're running out of characters though. Holy shit, these guys are horrible. What on earth? Considering this is the last holdout of the Antagonid Kingdom, I'm curious to see how many units they have, because they did have quite a few units at the start of the campaign, right? Better than nothing. I was expecting them to have actually less than that, to be fair. And now we gotta chase them around the mountain. Are you actually kidding me right now? This is like the Benny Hill show again. Okay, come on, really? Okay, they're actually fighting us. Finally, they grew some freaking balls, brother, and died. Grew some balls and died. Can we get an F in the chat for the brave Antigonides? All right, now that's gonna be 1 Crete to go, thank you, and 1 Aegean Islands to go as well. That is 18 aggressive expansion, surprisingly, though. And actually, the Antagonides are still around. They still have a little bit of a foothold here in Laconia. Holy shit, we convert these pops to Roman in just 9 years? That is freaking crazy, dude. That is actually crazy. I really adored the way that these missions are done, because like not only does it make the game more fun, but it guides you, because like check this out. These missions, for example, tell me to build mines in these provinces, build farms in these provinces, and this actually is the right approach, because it is how you should be structuring your provinces in the first place, and you also obviously get more assimilation speed, loyalty, etc. from the lands, avoiding any potential civil war and such. Now we're almost at the cap that we self-imposed on us, so we can have 18 provinces more. I've decided that now that we have the islands, the last 18 provinces should just be provinces within the Carthaginian bits. Kind of surprisingly, Aulercia, the Gauls have gotten half of Iberia right now. Numidia also owns most of North Africa. They kind of split it with the Carthaginians, to be fair. Parthia is pretty much the same size it was before. It has, surprisingly, Eastern Aral as a split away Parthian nation. Not sure how or why, but interesting nevertheless. And it also wiped out Wusun, which are now 5-6 provinces left. So let's do this quick cheeky war against the Carthaginians, shall we? Also gonna need some more units, so I'm gonna recruit these mercenaries. Might as well, since they're right next to the Carthaginians. Look how strong our units are compared to theirs. We literally wiped the freaking floor with them right now. And by grabbing the pretty much undefended capital provinces, we should be able to finish this war early on. We won how many battles is that? Like 10 battles in the first few seconds of the freaking campaign against them? I get the feeling that Rome might be a little bit overpowered in this game. Now I know what you're thinking. Ludi, this looks like it's more than 18 provinces. Let's check. Oh no, it's 511. We went over a little bit. Oh no. So I think since we went over a little bit, we might as well just take these northern bits here to make it nice, and look how beautiful the shape would be with this one more province that we're gonna take in the next war, simply so we have pretty borders. That's all I'm saying here. Okay, now that is surprising. I don't even know what Styria is, but they came out of freaking nowhere and they just flat out conquered most of Eastern Germany, Western Poland, I guess you could say. The Egyptians, or Ptolemaic kingdom better yet, also managed to sneak into Anatolia now, and they claim back the areas they lost to Cyrenaica before, which was completely annexed between the Carthaginians and the Ptolemaic. Judea still in the same spot from the start of the campaign. Absolutely nothing happened to them. India saw the rise of Kalinga. They've actually taken a lot of territory from Maurya, from what I can tell. And we've also started to properly accelerate the process of converting pops to Roman. 2,400 of our pops are Roman. Look at that. Look at how many more Romans we have, especially in the north. That's grown massively, and the entirety of the peninsula itself is just red as schnapps. Remember, we had no Romans. Like Sicily had 0 Romans before. Now look at this. Same here, no Romans in North Africa before. Now we have quite a few of them, and even in Sardinia, Corsica too. Hell, even in... Wait a second. What? We just took Cyprus and we already have 1 Roman pop in almost every single province. That is insane. Check out the religious map mode as well. Most of our peninsula and half of the eastern Mediterranean is Hellenic, and that goes all the way into freaking northern India for that matter. I do hope you guys enjoyed the first part of the mega campaign, and if you like to see this continued and you want to see us go to Crusader Kings Things 3. Don't forget to leave that like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. Would really help me out a lot. Love y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.